So turning our attention from rugby over to golf, the golf major season is about to get underway. The Masters already up and running. The Chevron Championship set to take place also in April. It's a very busy time of the year for golfers, but I managed to find some time with Solheim Cup winner in between her practice rounds. Lauren Coughlin finished tied for third at last year's Chevron Championship, and she's hoping to go two better at this year's event. She began by telling me how the first few months of the season have been going for her.
Yeah, it's been kind of a weird start to the season. Just, I felt like I kind of got going and then had a few weeks off and now kind of getting back into it. So, I'm excited to kind of get back into the meat of the season and just get to play some golf.
Let's start with the Chevron Championship, and that's first up. And obviously, you finished tied third there last year. Was there something that came together that week that made you feel I can definitely replicate this?
Yeah, I think, it was kind of the first time I made some putts when I really needed to, especially kind of coming down the stretch when I was in a little bit of contention. Nelly was a few ahead of me, but I was kind of the one of the only ones that was kind of around. And so kind of making putts when I needed to, it was kind of the first time that I've really done that. And so I think it kind of gave me a lot of confidence for the rest of the year going forward. But yeah, I mean, my parents live 15 minutes from there, so it's kind of like a home game. I get to sleep in my own bed, and it's just a really really fun week.
Does it help that you'll be heading back to the same course this year as well? I mean, confidence wise?
Yeah, definitely. I proved that I can play pretty well on that golf course, so it'll just be kind of see, what the course conditions are like. If is it just as firm, is it a little softer, what's the temp, the weather. A lot of things can go on, but yeah, it's always really nice to kind of go back to a place that you've had success before.
Well, you're definitely not sneaking up on anyone. You seem to be the hot topic right now in women's golf. So after the Chevron last year, you secured your first two LPGA wins at the CPKC Women's Open and the Women's Scottish Open before going on to help the U.S. regain the Solheim Cup. What was it about 2024 that made it a fantastic year for you personally?
Yeah, I mean, getting my first win and then getting to represent my country on the Solheim Cup team, an hour from where I live in the state of Virginia, it was just a super special year. I had a lot of friends that have never really gotten to see me play golf. Were able to come to the Solheim Cup, so it was just it was so much fun, and it'll be hard to top.
Do you feel like your life has changed in the last 12 months with all your success and obviously more media attention? I mean, look at you. You're on this sporty planet.
Yeah, I've getting asked to do a lot more interviews than I have before. But overall, I feel about the same. It's just I enjoy playing golf. I enjoy playing competitive golf, and so just trying to get back to doing that and not let some of the other stuff kind of get in the way.
And just quickly on the Solheim Cup, it was announced recently that Angela Stanford will be captain for the 2026 edition in the Netherlands. What do you make of her appointment, having worked with her as an assistant captain in 2024?
Yeah, I think everybody kind of knew that she was going to be the next captain. She's very tough and she loves the Solheim Cup, and I think she's going to be an amazing captain. They kind of asked a bunch of people from the team, who they thought, and I think everybody pretty much said Angela is who the next captain should be. And so, yeah, I'm really excited, and hopefully I'll get to be with her in the Netherlands next year.
Not to give any away secrets, but is there anything you've been working on specifically with your game over the last few months getting ready for the season?
Just tinkering on some wedges, trying to get
Mhm.
those kind of figured out. That's not necessarily one of like the strengths of my game. Really trying to figure out bunkers. And I've put a lot of work in that, and I don't think necessarily the stats have shown that they're improving, but I know I'm hitting the shots a lot better. I just haven't quite capitalized on making the putts. But um, yeah, those would I would say be the couple of things that I've been working on this off season.
Lauren, tell me this: is there one thing you're looking forward to above all others in 2025?
Yeah, I think just getting back and seeing how I can play and seeing if I can kind of get in my bubble and see if I can, do any better than I did last year. It's gonna be hard, obviously, with results. Winning is something that isn't easy to do, and so I would love to win, but I also want to just focus on trying to get my skills better and just again just do what I've been doing every year, which is just trying to get better. And if that means I win, I win. But if not, I'm just trying to make sure that I can get better.
And a little chaos there as Lauren was getting ready for practice rounds in Las Vegas. We always appreciate her time. And as always, you can hear the full chat with Lauren Coughlin on This Sporting Planet's YouTube channel. And the good news is she actually went on to finish second in that tournament, the T-Mobile Match Play presented by MGM, where Madeline Sagstrom came out on top. So, guys, 2024 in women's golf really was the year of Nelly Korda. She won the Chevron Championship last year, part of 7 wins in that 12 months. And in 2023, Lilia Vu won the Chevron before going on to win 3 more tournaments, including the AIG Women's Open. So the big question to you, Edward and Natalie, is it all about that tournament? Is it all about the Chevron? Because that seems to be the springboard to set you up for the rest of the year.
I mean, it's always nice, isn't it, to win that first major of a year, and then it gives you so much more confidence going into another tournament. I mean, we're obviously listening into Lauren Coughlin. She seems very optimistic and very positive about the year ahead, and she also finished 4th at the Evian Championship, another one of the golfing majors in 2024. So she had a really terrific last year, didn't she? Really kind of, you could say, broke through when it came to those majors. We mentioned it earlier on, momentum. Momentum is so important in sport. And if you can do well in a major, one of the first majors of a year, then all eyes, I suppose the difference is, and if you do really well in one of those majors, all eyes then are on you. And it's how you then deal with that pressure, which becomes very different if you are someone that can kind of sail through tournaments and maybe not be picked up on by the media as such, wanting all that attention. So it's just having to deal with that, I think, is that one of the hardest things for any sports person, I would say.
I'm getting out of prop here because I'm coming to you, Edward. It seems like this time of year, especially North America, everyone seems to be thinking about, wow, the weather's getting a little better, the grass is getting greener. Speaking of green, the green jacket's on the line. What is it about the Masters that gets everyone so juiced up? Is it the year Rory's going to walk away with it? The Masters seems like it springboards us into spring and summer.
What are you doing with the club, though, Todd? I thought you were going to make an allusion to, I don't know, it's a wedge or something, and you're wedged between a couple of players as to who's going to win the tournament.
If this club could speak, it would tell you how many bad shots it's hit. So I'll go ahead and put it away.
We won't ask then.
If that club could speak, it would say, save me, give me to somebody else. Yeah. No, there is something prestigious about the Masters, isn't it? It's just like Wimbledon. I don't know if it's the green of the perfect green surface that you play on, or the green jacket and going into that clubhouse afterwards and just the history behind it. Rory McIlroy, though, oh boy, I hope he does it. You know, he really, really deserves that career Grand Slam. He's been under so much pressure to complete it for so many years. Remarkably, I know he's had 2 PGA wins before April for the first time in his career, and he does say he's playing better golf now than he ever has before. I just can't believe he hasn't won a major since the PGA Championships in 2014. This is like one of the biggest names in golf, and it's been 11 years now since his last major win.
Yeah, well, he's working with a sports psychologist this time around, I think, coming into Augusta, because I think he just knows this is the one major that's missing from his full collection. So it's that sort of temperament now having to marry up with his technique. We know his technique is excellent. We know that, you know, he can deliver on a golf course. It's just maybe, as I mentioned before, dealing with the pressure, dealing with that expectation that finally I can get that green jacket, which is such an iconic green jacket. It's fabulous to see when the previous winner puts it on the new winner and all of that. I love all of that. It's just part of the tradition of the sport, and that's what is so exciting about this one. But I'm with you, Edward. I would absolutely love to see Rory McIlroy finally get it done, but he's got stiff competition, as we know.
He does. Can I just have a word for Bernard Langer as well, who's saying goodbye to the Masters after this. His 41st and final Masters. He's worn the green jacket twice. He was actually supposed to play in his final Masters last year, then snapped his Achilles playing pickleball.
See,
so he
sport is
play.
Dangerous.
Well, this coming from me, who actually just twisted my ankle playing paddle last week. So I know where Bernard's coming from, although not quite as successful as him. So he did delay saying farewell to this year. But those victories in 85 and 1993, what fantastic triumphs they were for him. And what a legend of the sport he is, from his stance to the way that he's just... He really embodies, I guess, the tenacity of these Augusta Masters Championships.
Yeah, and speaking of pressure, I think all the pressure's got to be on the shoulders of Scotty Scheffler, trying to do something that hasn't done since, 01, 02, when Tiger Woods went back-to-back. I think it's, the time of this recording, obviously, the first round's getting underway, but I really like Colin Morikawa and Xander Schauffele. Those are the two names that kind of just keep coming to my mind on this course. Of course, the storm that went through Augusta, ravage that they don't want to talk about, show that a lot, but it'll look spectacular. To Natalie's point, the grass will be perfectly groomed, the azaleas will be out, it'll smell wonderful, it'll be beautiful on TV. So obviously we're all looking forward to see who walks away with the green jacket.
Can I just say, there's something so uniquely American about this tournament as well, isn't there? I love the fact how when Tiger won his last one and the euphoria, and it was just madness out there, and then he went into the little cabin, the little clubhouse, and just sat down with a couple of old dudes, and it just got there's just something so uniquely weird about it, if that's the right word to use. Do you know what I mean, Todd?
Well, yeah, the fact that you go into the little cabin and you sign your card, which everyone knows what your score is. It's been on everything around the world on social media and whoever's broadcasting it. And you have to go through that tradition of signing your card and turn it in. And I think that's kind of the cool tradition part of it. But, I mean, one of the biggest events, I'll say the biggest event of golf in the world, and your trophy is a jacket. I mean, think about that. Let that sink in for a second. The green jacket, but you say the green jacket, everyone knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And is that right? They aren't allowed to take the jacket away from Augusta. They get a replica that they can take away instead. Is that true?
Yeah, and then you always have your locker there once as a winner, and so the jacket stays there and bring it out. I don't think that's something you're checking on the airlines anytime soon, but obviously people want to see the green jacket when you make appearances on the talk shows and things like that. So yeah, they safeguard the green jacket.